For my final year health action project, I undertook a workshop with a group of transition year students with the aim of trying to improve their knowledge and understanding about cardiovascular disease and its health outcomes. The workshop also aimed to show adolescents how to respond to others in a cardiovascular crisis. They were shown how to recognize the symptoms of stroke using the FAST technique. FAST stands for face, arms, speech, and time. And they are also shown how to do CPR in a medically correct manner by a trained professional from the Order of Malta. The workshop involved a lot of strategic planning. I had to contact numerous amounts of people to try and get my project off the ground. Points of contact included principals from local secondary schools, spokesperson from the Irish Health Foundation, a spokesperson from the National Adult Literacy Agency, local paramedics, and members of the Order of Malta. The project also involved research. In order to improve the adolescents' knowledge, I first had to improve my own knowledge of cardiovascular disease and its health outcomes. The workshop itself was divided into two sections. The first section involved a presentation slideshow, which I shown to the adolescents. It highlighted what exactly cardiovascular disease was, what its health outcomes were, and which lifestyles contributed to cardiovascular disease. Lifestyles choices such as smoking or an unhealthy diet. The second half of the workshop involved a member of the Order of Malta showing the adolescents how to do CPR. The adolescents were then shown how to recognise the symptoms of stroke using the FAST technique. Then shown how to recognise the symptoms of stroke using the FAST technique. The principal of the school that the workshop took place in told me that nothing of this sort had taken part in his school before, so that in itself I felt was an achievement. Before carrying out the workshop, I did a quick poll survey to find out whether there was any pre-existing knowledge about cardiovascular disease amongst the transition years, and then following the completion of the workshop I distributed a questionnaire. From the feedback indicated that the workshop had some impact on the adolescents before they knew relatively little about cardiovascular disease. Following the workshop, they were at least able to know what cardiovascular disease was, what its health outcomes were, and how to respond to people in a cardiovascular crisis, which I felt was an achievement. I also felt that the transition year students learning how to do CPR was an achievement. It's a life skill that could be used at any time, anywhere, at any place. What I learned from this experience is that organisation is key. By taking notes along the way, doing little things, getting things done early makes the workload easier for you as you go along. It lessens it. I also learned that not everything that you plan for actually goes according to plan, so have a few plan Bs and plan Cs up your sleeve. I also learned it's hard to keep adolescents entertained in a topic that is seen as heavy. The topic may have no relevance to their lives, so they may have felt, why is this person coming in to show us about cardiovascular disease? We don't have cardiovascular disease. So with those thoughts in mind, I tried to keep the whole workshop as open and engaging to the transition years as possible, but that in itself is difficult. What would I do differently? Well, the workshop was a pilot study in itself. By doing the workshop, by actually doing it, I learned some things along the way. I would have also conducted the workshop earlier. I felt I left it a bit too late, and it was a bit close to college deadlines, which added a bit of a stress to myself. However, the whole experience was a learning curve. Following this workshop, I know how to conduct a workshop and what not to do and what to do.